Hello again, and welcome back. So this is the first ever webinar that we're running in a series of webinars to introduce you to the Leonardo platform. It's Leonardo 101. Welcome to Leonardo.AI. My name is Joel, and I work in the community team here at Leo. Very excited to kick things off. Today we'll be giving you a beginner level intro to the platform and some of our AI-powered tools. We'll start by doing a little tour of the homepage, then we'll jump into image guidance, image generation with a little look at image guidance, and then we'll do some sketch to image in real-time canvas, we'll look at the universal upscaler, and finally bring the images to life using motion. By the end of the session, you should have a pretty solid understanding of how to navigate Leo and use some of the key features. But without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to our incredible senior creative technologist, Jessie Hughes, who is going to run the session and take it from here.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Joel. Yes, good morning, good evening. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Leonardo platform. Now, when you make an account, this is going to be the first thing you see, and this is our Leonardo homepage. So if we just have a quick look where things are located, so up the very top here is where we have our key tools. So this is where you'll find, so image generation, this is where you go to create imagery. So this is everything from whether you're wanting photography style through to illustrative style. This is kind of where you build the images in the first place. We have a tool called Realtime Canvas, which is personally an absolute favorite of mine. It's going to have that little aha moment, pretty much where you're able to take your sketches and in real time be able to generate imagery in response to that. Canvas Editor is where you can go in to refine and edit things. So for example, if you have a character and their eyes are green, but you want their eyes to be blue or something like that, you can go in and edit it in there. Motion is where we bring animation and motion to life. So being able to take an image and have that kind of motion behind it. Real-time gen, really cool for ideating again. Similar structure to real-time canvas, just a bit more of a free flow. And then universal upscaler, I think this one's one of the best in the game, is where we're able to upscale images. So taking an image of a certain resolution or size and be able to maximize it and make it really beautiful and high res and the best it can be for whether using it for commercial use or future use cases. Now, if you look at the left column here, they're all here as well. So you can either navigate through the top or you can navigate through the side. I personally use the side quite often when I'm jumping between them. The creative process is quite iterative in that I jump between these tools quite often. So know that you can find them down here. We're not going to get into the advanced stuff today. That's going to be a bit later in the series where we talk about like fine-tune models and training your own data sets and all of that. But it sits there if this is something that is of your skill level. And then right here, we've got our beautiful community creations. And so you can kind of see what's trending. You can see what other people are making. What's cool about our public feed is you're able to see kind of how they got there, what models they used, and it's really good for education. So if you're looking for inspo, it could be a really good place to get started. And yeah, okay, well, without further ado, how about we jump into image gen? I want this to be fun for everybody. So like I'm here to make your dreams come true. So whatever visions you have, or if there's a particular image you want me to create today, like just drop it in the chat and we'll see what we can come up with collaboratively together. So this is our new image interface. For anybody who is has used Leo previously, if you go up to the very, very top here, you'll see something that says legacy mode. Now, if you press on that, that is going to take you to our old interface. So if you have used Leonardo prior to about this week, this is what you will be used to seeing. The options sit down there. We have our image guidance tabs based through here. In our new model, we wanted to make it as easy and as clean as possible. And so let's go in and have a look at what we're here. I'm trying to read the chat at the same time. Now, this is up here is the prompt bar. So this is what, if you're probably used to the concept of writing prompts and creating images. So if we're going to say, for example, a chameleon, a bright chameleon. Here we go. With Leonardo, what's really, really beautiful is this ability to improve prompts. Now, I'm feeling a bit lazy this morning. That's about as good as I've got with my prompt. I'm going to say, hey, Leo, I'm tired. Can you improve this prompt for me? I press improve prompt. And all of a sudden, the system's going to take what I've kind of pitched of being a bright chameleon, and it's changed it to brilliantly shifting chameleon, scales shimmering with this rainbows. This is a stunning photograph. It captures the natural beauty, blah, 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 blah. And so it's really gone into depth and got some really nice information behind it. It's clarified that this is going to be wildlife photography and really gone into detail. Now, that's because I let it kind of have creative control there. If I wanted to take the reins and like, actually, I don't want a photograph, I want like an illustration, or I want a 3D render, or I want whatever, you can kind of like type back and forth. So that's the basis of prompting. But with Leo, most of the magic happens here in the left column. And so this is where we talk about our presets. Now, presets are fine-tuned models that respond to like the specific niche that you're trying to achieve. So if I was wanting stock photography, for example, these models are trained on stock, like they know that they're trying to create stock photography. So that's what they're going to create the output to look like. Versus if I want lifelike vision, this could be, this kind of has like cinematic outputs. I can have HDR, like camera style. And I also have this setting for photoreal. So we'll get into that in a second. But this is just to give you an idea of where the presets sit. So I think when you're going into what you're trying to make, kind of think like, what is it that I want? What do I want it to have as the output? If it's a portrait, like if you're trying to do people photography, these are some really, really nice presets that you're going to get some different responses to. So if you want fashion, for example, if you're trying to create photography that is fashion focused or fashion forward, you could use this one. Versus if you wanted something that was quite cinematic, like if you're doing pitch decks for a film or something like that, you'll be able to go in and use these cinematic features. And so getting familiar with all of these different options is a really, really good place to start. This is where I would encourage you to go and spend your day. The difference is going to be quite significant depending on which preset you choose. Now, under here, we've then got fast or quality. Now, fast is going to try and render it. It's a bit smaller. You can see it's a 888 by 888. Quality, the base is 1110 as a starting. So depending, you're going to be getting just like a different quality. It's also using a different system. So I think if you're just like iterating, like you can have fast if you just want like lots of quick responses. If you want a nice good outcome, I'll put it on quality. Then you get into image dimensions. Quite self-explanatory. If you press this more button that folds out, you're able to see different dimensions for like socials. So if you're looking to create social assets, or if you're looking to make stuff for a TV or device or cinema or wide or whatever like that, these are already pre-saved as dimensions. So it's really, really helpful. Okay, brilliant. And then if we jump into advanced settings, this is kind of the model that these things are running on. These have been set up to best suit the preset that you've clicked that you're going for. So a lot of them will have already what they're running on. However, if you're feeling incredibly exploratory, like definitely go and have a play and have a look at what these different models are going to do with their output, because they will be different each time. Photoreal is brilliant. This is for photorealism, and it just means able to have that like high quality photorealistic outputs. So definitely have a play with all of these different areas of what you can do here. So for the sake of this experiment, I'm going to put that one on. Great. Okay, so we've got our prompt that we've been helped with. We've set these up. And I'm just going to press generate, and we're going to see quickly what we get out. Now, if you have a look at the different versions that I quickly was playing with earlier, this one you can see it's really going to try to got that details in the scales or its skin there, some nice layers. Here we go. Whereas this one I put on as like it's more of a, can't remember which setting I put on for this one, but it was just more of a playful, colorful one. So it isn't I'm hoping you can see the difference between the two. And this is just letting the machine run for itself. Now, if we go into these, because these were photorealistic, we've got this nice blur effect happening, which happens quite often with photography, where you would have like your center asset. Yay. Oh, he's cute. Yay. Cool. Okay, so that's that. This is the general area of where you're going to be spending a lot of your time. Does anyone in the chat have something they would like made? We can have a quick play. Any creative ideas? Yeah. Otherwise, I'll get flowing with the other areas of it. Okay, so this is like the basic image gen. This is if you're just trying to create imagery straight up, like that's where you get started for that. But what is very exciting for me is when you press this button. Now, this is the drop down for image guidance. Image guidance is how you can have influence on the output that you're trying to create. So if you wanted to have,
Jessie,
yeah.
Sorry to interrupt for 1 second. We did have a request for a chipmunk eating chips. I don't know if you'll get around to it right now, but
cool.
if at a later point in the stream you want to work that out.
We've got a seahorse with butterfly wings, cucumber dancing on the moon, black cat with a top hat. Oh my god, cool guys. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And so I'll run you through this and then we can get into our next step. Okay, so image guidance, this is what I believe is the like creme de la creme of Leo. It's the best part of it for me, is character reference, style reference, and content reference. I love these. So just to quickly explain what each of these features do. So character reference, I hope, is quite self-explanatory. We've just released it to the public. I can't wait for this to come out. This is going to be so helpful. And it's being able to take the likeness of a character and being able to use them again and again and again across a series of different imagery. So as just a quick example, I can show you some work that I was doing of my own face. Oh, let me get you some of the good ones. So this was like using my, I don't know if you can tell, that looks like me. So using my face to be able to create these like marble statues for a previous workflow that we worked on, and being able to create this like beautiful diverse series, different poses, was using a character reference element, but really maintaining that personalized consistency throughout. Beyond that, we have, this is a character called Lily, made by my friend. So this was using the same character, but across a whole bunch of different styles. So for like advertising or marketing, and being able to make sure there was consistency in her across all of these different like photography styles and color grades. So I think if you can really get in with the character reference, this is going to be so helpful to your different styles and different workflows. For people who are more interested in filmmaking, definitely like being able to have that character consistency across shots. And so if you wanted like a daytime shot or a nighttime shot, it really is quite special that that's able to transfer across. So that all sits in here under character reference. Now we also have style reference. So if you have created just like a particular style that has maybe like big bright colors, and you want to create a photo shoot that also relates, or say you've got, for example, we've got the Leonardo brand, like Leonardo's got a beautiful colorful logo. Like how can we reference the style of our brand and use that across creating imagery? So that's going to be a style reference. Content reference looks at what is in the image. So if you're into like, this one's an architecture example. So if there's a particular scene that you want to maintain the content, if perhaps you have a model holding a handbag or something like that, and you want to be able to keep the model holding the handbag as your content, but be able to apply a different style, that's kind of where we use these in response. Text to image, like if you've got a logo, we can do that. Edge to image is great for logos as well. Pose to image, so if there's a particular pose, and then image to image, that's like being able to take it into a different space. So this is incredibly important for where we can be making work. So if we want to do, for example, I'm going to do a character reference. I'm going to use myself. Okay, cool. And then you have this little arrow. It shows you the strength of how much it's influenced by. I personally think mid's quite good because it gives you a bit more freedom to lean into the creative, like let the system influence a few things. I am going to do content reference of, this is a little character that I made the other day. We can make one similar. And so it's going to look at the shape of that. And then I'm going to add a style reference. I actually quite like the colors in this image, so I might keep the same style reference. Maybe make it high. I'm going to say a cute evil character for a animated movie. I don't know. Let's have a look at that. Okay, so we've set that up. Now, as I said, I wanted this to be 3D. So I'm going to go into one of our different formats. Maybe I might do 3D. Let's have a look. Game concept. Maybe we'll go into here. Design 3D. I'm going to do 3D render. Okay, so set that. Great. And we'll run that through. I'm going to use our improved prompt just because that isn't too detailed. So let's have a look at what we can do to improve it. So mischievously charming figure, adorable. Let's have a look. Have a look how this goes. Okay, cool. And she's going to be rendering out. Now, while that kind of has little play, I just want to make sure we are good following the chat right now. Yes. Okay, cool. So let me run you through some of the other areas of the platform. Now, real-time canvas is definitely, like, I think the fun part. So we'll just finish that off. Yeah, it's still going. Okay, cool. So here is where we kind of, it's like a doodle pad. It's bringing all your dreams to reality. Now here I'm going to do some little doodles of flowers. Let's do some flowers. I'm feeling pretty flowers. Okay, cool. And some other stuff. Now, as you'll notice that the right area is looking at what I'm doing and is trying to currently is trying to guess and respond to my creative. If I want to help it out, I can add into a prompt. So a 3D render of what's a particular flower? I don't know. Rose flowers, modern, trendy 3D design, something like that. Okay, so here we have, and depending on where I put the creativity strength is how closely it's going to respond to my doodling versus responding to like taking charge on going with it and having a fun time. Okay, so if we put here, put it a bit lower, and then you can go and use, again, what the style is. So I'm going to go into maybe do some ray trace stuff or product. Maybe we'll do product for now. Okay, so this is a good way of getting like ideas out quickly. And you can use this feature up the top called Instant Refine. And so what it's going to do is it's going to quickly look at what I've created and refine it to a place that makes it a little bit better and higher quality. So I can't say if you can see on the screen, but that's definitely rendered it quite a bit nicer. Now, there's output to input. We'll take what is in this right window and put it back as like the beginning starting point. So I'm going to take it across and I'm going to keep adding and doodling. Now, I also have the ability to do some really cool in the canvas editing of using generative tools again. So it's doing it layered on top of that. So I'm going to add a bee. I want to add a bee. Sure. Do we like that one? Do we want a better one? Okay, screw it. I'll take, I don't know if that would be. I'll take that bee. Okay, we'll take that one. Now, this is a remove background feature. So I'm just going to quickly remove the background on that one. And here we go. And we can put that there. And I'm going to add a 3D render of rose flowers with bumblebees. I don't know. There we go. And I'm going to give it higher creativity so it can kind of run with it. You'll notice there's like a duplicate. So if you're trying to like come up with a particular pattern or a style, or maybe you're trying to build out a scene, we can do stuff like this. And so if you're trying to like build a sketch, like just an early stage ideas, these are quite a fun way to kind of, go about doing that. Okay. And let me bump up creativity quite hard. I'm going to go back lower. Okay, sure. That's fine for now. And I'm going to instant refine again. And I'm going to, okay, so I've got this thing that I've created and I'm going to press download. And so that way I have this image kind of like saved and ready to go. let's just say it's an amazing image, and I'm really happy with it and exactly what I wanted. I'm then going to be able to bring it into Universal Upscaler. So if I just go and get, sorry, let me full screen. Let me be able to drag and drop. Where are you? There we go. Okay. Okay, brilliant. So I've kind of taken that into Universal Upscaler. Here is where you make your images incredibly more high resolution. So this was an example I did yesterday in a class. So you've got this, this was just the general output. And then by pulling it across, you get all of this beautiful detail. So if we have a look at this butterfly wing, this is the image that was initially created as part of the workflow. It's just where you get your output. And then this is how beautifully we get the render out. You can see that there's been all of this detail added to the wings. It's incredibly beautiful and special there. Likewise, I was doing a mock campaign, and you've gone and taken this thing and added completely beautiful details to where we started. So if we go and have a look again at this, come on. Okay, at the asset that we've just created, and we're going to put in, oh, it's not playing. Okay, cool. So you've got different styles. So do we want this to be cinematic? Do we want this to be a 3D, like a game asset, or a 2D illustration? And depending on which one that is, again, you're going to be getting a different output. So always keep in mind what it is that you're trying to use this for, like the use case. Creativity strength is how much freedom we give the system. So I'm going to have it quite high, and I'm going to start upscaling that image. I will just do a comparison for you with 2D illustration, and I'm going to make the creativity strength very high just as a comparison, so you can start to see what the outcomes would be different. This was just this thing I was working on earlier. So this was the beginning, and then we add this, and all of a sudden you see the detail of the paint strokes. So like if you're going to be doing anything in terms of like printing your imagery or sharing it or making posters or using it on campaigns or anything like that, I would really strongly recommend going into the Universal Upscaler and kind of making it as good as you can. This was an image we're working on earlier, and you'll see his mouth, the amount of detail that was added to like those lips is really quite incredible. So I think, like, yeah, get into it. Go and have a play with this, depending on the outcomes that you're going to achieve. So there we go. So this is that outcome that we just really quickly mocked up. This one was using the illustration style. So I think you should be able to notice the difference between that, and he's kind of got this like funkiness. There's a different funkiness to it, whereas this one, which is like more cinematic and realism, the bee has more kind of like accuracy or more detail in its fluffiness, or the fur. So if you're trying to rapidly create assets, like definitely have a play with the real-time canvas. This is, again, another way of working. So what was some of the ideas we had before? I remember a chipmunk or something. A chipmunk on the moon, I think it was. No, a chipmunk eating chips. I actually don't know what a chipmunk. It's Alvin and the Chipmunks is what I've seen. I'll do a what was the other ones? I can't remember the other things he said. Okay, I'm gonna say a koala, because I'm Australian. A koala. That's fine. Okay, so let's go and have a look at the difference between using photography, and we can bump these up if we want them to be like kids illustration or toon or anime. I was reading, someone was mentioning something about our toon anime models before. Like, these are going to change the outcomes. So if you wanted to do like a coloring in bulk, even, you can bump these down quite low. And so this is again similar to the real-time response, and we can get rid of these and make them higher and stuff. So if you're wanting to, I do this, but you get the idea. So this is another way of kind of creating. Okay, let's go into now. How are we doing for time, Joel? Just want to be conscious.
We're doing pretty good. Probably do another maybe 5 to 10 on
Yeah.
demoing the platform, and then
Yeah.
at some point we can start answering some questions directly on platform. So some of the things that everyone's asking in the chat, Jessie can actually walk you through some of those processes and show you how to get some of those outputs that you're after.
Cool. Okay, cool. I realized I put the dimensions wrong for my thing, but that is, I don't know if you can tell, that's kind of got the cheekiness-ish of my face. So I'm using character reference. Making sure dimensions are right is really, really important. So if you are going to be using references, yeah, just making sure you put the right reference in. But let's add motion to one of these ones. So being able to add motion, you can either do that actually in here in image gen or out externally in the motion element. I might just put it at, I'm gonna use this guy. Okay. And we'll where did it go? Okay, so anytime you see the film strip, that means generate motion to it. Now at Leo, we control motion using this strength element. So if you make it really, really high, it will probably distort if you make it too high. And if you make it too low, it probably won't react too responsibly. Depends what it depends what the image is. So like if you're using like a body of water, like you're trying to get water behind it, versus if you're using like a person, you might get more of the like turning the face or that kind of reaction. But let's put it, I'm going to put it around like I don't know, let's put it like I'll put a 6. I don't know. We'll see what the output is. Now, anytime you create use any of the tools, it will come and start, it will stay in this kind of like image generation space. So even if you go through motion here, so if you do your generative process through here, I might just add, okay, I don't know what motion we're going to add to that, but well, let's add that one. And I'll make it a 7, generate. So you've pressed it, you've done that workflow, and you're like, wait, where is it? Where did my work go? It's always sitting here in your image generation. It's just going to be sitting. This is where everything kind of like loads. So make sure you come back to here to have a look for what it is that you're hunting for. Okay, cool. The other ones are canvas editor. These I'll quickly show it to you, but I might save for like more of the advanced sessions. So if we go and upload from previous generations, and I'm going to go and use, actually, here we go. We'll just go and put in, this is like kind of where you do the editing. I'm just going to see, I'm going to grab, let's take that one, for example. Okay. And I'm going to try and work on her eyes. Okay, I'm going to draw a little mask, make that a little bit smaller. Okay, and I'm going to say, I'm going to say green. Let's see if this works. I might have set it up wrong. Well, yeah, there we go. I didn't color it, didn't mask it properly. But if you see, theoretically, I need to make it more closer. This is kind of like where you go to edit some stuff. And so same with like if you wanted different belts, like a different belt buckle or something like that, that was where you would like move these around. We have advanced controls in terms of like in-painting, out-painting. So if you want your image to be bigger, that's kind of where you build from there. But I'll say that for a different time. Okay, and then you kind of have all your stuff sits in your personal feed over here, and you can see all the ones that here we go. He's loaded his motion. So there's a bit of movement on this one. I probably would bump it up a little bit more, but if you're doing like basic stuff like I don't know, like a music video, or you're trying to make like a funky asset for, I don't know, LinkedIn or something that just has like a bit of motion, this is a nice way of adding it. And I made this one way too high, but you'll see like it's what it was doing with that bee and the bee and the flower that we just made. Yeah, so it's jumping around, but it is nice to be able to apply that motion. And I think that's something that got some cool things in the works. And yeah, you can build this collections area, which, actually, I don't know if that's released just yet, but it's being able to like have folders for your favorite work, and just a really helpful place to store things. Okay, I think that is going to be that's generally where I will sit us for now. Unless there's anything else specifically that we want to go through, but I was just going to, it's just how helpful it is to kind of be able to create really beautiful assets using these different content reference. I might quickly just show you how to do a logo if you were wanting to do one for your own company or your own brand. So if we go into where we started, so we're going to go into edge to image. I would use a black and white. You use a black and white image if you're going to do like a logo. I don't have my Leo one. We'll use this one. It's not going to work as well because it's not black and white, but we'll just put it a bit lower. And I'm going to say, if we want a particular style reference, I might add that like marble that I was using. Well, we could do, yeah, we'll see. We'll apply. Okay, so I'm going to say, actually, what style? While I'm just messing around here, Joel, do you start asking what any of the questions are? I'm just going to start getting some assets.
Thanks, Jessie. An incredible demo. I know we're still going, but yeah, thank you for running through all those tools. I feel like people in the chat, and I hope that the audience, have gotten a lot out of it. There's been some really positive feedback. We've had a couple of requests for different things as we've gone along. Yeah. Something that I've seen come up a couple times is from a couple different people is around creating sort of sketch, going from say like a sketch to an image using the platform, as well as say taking a real life photo and giving it like an illustration style.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe if you have anything that you can show us around, that sort of either of those workflows.
So just to make sure I'm listening right, you want sketch to real image or real image to sketch?
Maybe either. I think either would be cool. We've had both requests.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I could like work up a sketch. Maybe we could start from there and go from it. Or if there's a particular image, I don't have any. Unless we do some sketches, let's quickly make some so we can work from something. I'm going to say a fashion sketch of a I don't know, a model in a.
Oh, I see that the logos have also loaded as well.
Pretty just. Oh yeah, they're quickly generated. I see now that I've used the wrong. That's a stock photography model. So I think to get the hyper detail, I'd probably switch to maybe cinematic to get it more. So with like the stock photography preset, like that's used to doing quite like bright, saturated imagery. But if we did say like a moody one, you'd be getting a much different output. But this is just in terms of like if you have your own brand, you can go and have a big play, and you can do some really cool stuff like getting it like mocked up against like a billboard or stuff like that. Like there's so much you can do and play with it. So let's just go get this sketch. I'm gonna say like a sketch style. So I think with concept art we have some nice preset stylized illustration. I might start with that. Okay, cool. I'm going to get it to help me write my prompt. A stunning one colorful fashion sketch, penciled, detailed drawing. Okay, great. So let's go from there. Okay. Yeah, so if we've got I think when character can reference go live, Joel, wasn't it like yesterday? It was pretty soon, pretty recently.
Yeah, it's pretty fresh.
Yeah, it's pretty fresh. So I mean, I'm so excited that it's out there and in your hands, because I think there's gonna be some amazing work that can get done using that feature. And definitely, like, I was making a personalized assets for teams, and so being able to have like different, like everybody in the team with the same face or aesthetic different faces, same aesthetic, to be able to create assets. Okay, so let's go and take this kind of like initial sketch. If we download that image, and then I'm going to use this as a content reference because I want it to look at this like dress or outfit. I don't know which one do we like the more? Maybe this one's a bit more over the top. Okay, we'll use this one. Okay, so that's going to be my content reference, and then I'm going to change it to, I'm going to make it high. Yeah, it is high. I'm going to say a high fashion model in a blue dress, runway, realistic, beautiful. I don't know, something like that. Improve my prompt, please. And then I'm going to go back over here. I want to have a really nice cinematic shot. I'll put it through the fashion preset just so you get an idea of like what it's looking at. And I've got photoreal on because I want to have this be like a hyperreal imagery. And even if I wanted, maybe I did a style reference. I obviously do not own these Gucci images. These were experiments. I don't know where it's gone. But yeah, you could if you had a particular like photography style or aesthetic that you're trying to bring across, like being able to like generate it. I think it's quite a nice workflow if you focus on like creating like imagery in the style that you want first, then creating imagery in like the content or the character, whatever you want, and then bringing them all together accumulatively. It's just a really nice way of working. So yeah, so this is her. Don't know which one is our favorite. Oh, I quite like the yellow. That's fun. Okay, so if you saw, like, this is where we started using that sketchability, and then this is kind of the next level. If I go and take her into an upscaler, don't know which one's the best. I might take. Let's go into that one. Okay, so then I'll go into Universal Upscaler, and I'm going to add her. You go use some recent gens. I can't remember which one we like the most. This one's good. Okay. I'm going to put it on cinematic because I want photography. I might not make the creativity too high because I quite like her already. If you start to really, if I put it quite high, you would notice that the face would start to change. She would probably start to get freckles. Her pupils would probably start to get like hyper, like really blue with details. So figuring out where it is, like I think with this one, I think I broke this one. Oh no, that was the right one. But that one, like I broke his eye. He had darker eyes, and then because I made it very high, it added all these extra details. So depending on what you want, you'll get a different outcome. That stuff. And then it's rendering out. So that should just give you an idea of
that was great,
like,
Jessie. Yeah.
Quite a rapid prototype. Yeah.
How about, and this came much earlier in the stream, but would you be able to show us something that's sort of the reverse? So maybe say, like, you use that image of you earlier, that headshot, Jessie headshot. Could you show us maybe using that image as an initial, and then turning that into, say, like an illustration style, like a sketch
Oh yeah,
style?
for sure. Yeah, for sure. Okay, cool. Okay, how about make sure I have character reference on because I want it to be quite accurate to me. And then I'm going to do, I could do, I would usually break these into different steps. Like I would make the image that I want, and then I would apply face to it second. But let's just, for the sake of flow, let's just do it now. I'm going to do a watercolor sketch of a woman with blonde curly hair at looking at the sunset. Well, I don't know, whatever, something like that. Improve my prompt. I'm going to go into illustration, illustrative. Let's go and have a look at these different options. Might do sketch color there. Now, Sure. Another thing that I haven't really got into today, well, I was going to save this for later, but we'll have a peek, is this idea of elements. Now, elements are really helpful these are specific outcomes or styles that you're looking for. So I saw in the chat someone was talking before about our tune and anime output. Really, really helpful if you're trying to get that like 3D kind of look. We've then got like 3D sculptures great, Qdomo, it's coloring in book. So if you're creating a coloring in book, like these are already here to be able to get that output. I'm going to use Colorful Scribble because it's kind of fun and it's a bit messy, and I'm going to have it probably quite high. And let's just have a look. Let's have a look what we get. And you can also add multiple elements at a time. I think they work better if you have one at a time, but they're there. And so if we did tune an anime, I'll show you what I look like with that element. Let's pump it up. I'm going to pump it up quite high, and I'm going to, I kind of want content reference of like an image. So let's maybe do like previous ones. I don't know. So actually, while that's doing that, so here we go and have a look at this sketch that we just did of me. And so like that's like a fun starting point. I mean, like it is quite similar. What you can also do is feed it back in. So like if we find one that I quite like, I mean, I think these are cute. These are fun. Okay. And so that was achieved just by doing that, adding that element style as well as with my prompt, and having the preset style on the left set to the correct thing of a sketch in color. But if we want to go and put like a 3D thing, and we're going to put the tune element, I'm going to make the tune element quite high. And I'm also going to I'm just going to do a quick like cutesy, maybe, I'll put this one on a little bit as well. I'm going to make it a little bit lower. So this is going to make me like quite cute, like cutesy. So we'll see when that renders out. But these are really fun to play with for sure if you're doing if you're just doing any of these specific things. So like spend a day playing with the different results and like combining the few. Like Fiery Flames did a really cool project the other day, and with like Fiery Flames with motion applied, because the system is aware that that's like flames. Like you're able to get really, really beautiful motion applied to something like fire. Because that glass core is incredibly popular. This was very trendy the other day. We also have sparkle core. People love sparkle core. And so these are just add like cute little details on the output. But these are probably a bit too toony for my liking. There you go, cute. And if you're going to do any of those models, like unless you specify like age, they're probably going to look quite young and cute because of those trained models. But that's kind of like how you approach that. If that answers your question.
Yeah, totally. No, that was really cool. It was nice to see going, from both sort of a more sketch-like to a more photorealistic mode.
Yeah, they're all sitting right here. Yeah, like I think go and have a look through these. They're beautiful. Definitely depending on what your what your requirement is. I love. Oh my god, one of my favorite ones is where are you? Where did you get moved to? So this interface launched last week, so everything's moved around. They are all here. I personally love unprocessed film. Like to me, it's just gorgeous, and you get this very cinematic, beautiful thing to it. In the same way, if you want moody or like a long exposure film, so that's really cool. HDR, like if you're trying to get that really gorgeous camera response, definitely that's perfect. Cool. Okay. Any more questions? Have a quick look at my watch.
We've got a little more time. I took some notes as we went. We can go back to some of our requests for images that we didn't get around to at the very start. I'll give you a couple options, Jessie. We have a seahorse with butterfly wings blowing bubbles into stars.
Cool. Oh my gosh,
Um,
that's so cute. Okay, I'm gonna.
yeah,
This is gonna be a great experiment because I want to see if I do it better myself or if Leo does it better with prompts. So let's. Can you tell me what it was again, Joel?
okay, we'll start with this one. We have a seahorse with butterfly wings blowing bubbles into stars.
Oh my god, cute. Okay, I'm gonna go and ditch all of these. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Goodbye. This one has to have sparkle core as an element. I have to. I'll go chuck that one on. I'll flip it down just a little bit more. Okay, I am going to go for maybe like creative cinematic. Just have a look. I've got photo real iron. Okay, so let's do some experiments. So I'm going to run that with the base of the prompt. I'm going to run it with improved prompt on as well. Cool, that's cute. Okay, and then I'm going to go and have a play in real-time canvas. If you wanted to like have control over what the specific outcome is. So let's you could either start from scratch with a sketch or you could do it through this. So if we do a seahorse, sure, that's fine. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the background. And then here he is there. And then I'm going to have, I want to paint on my own wings. So I'm going to go add some big, beautiful, pretty wings. Done. And then, don't know, something like that. Lol. Oh yeah, so I've still got my old prompt in. Here we go. I'm gonna let it. It's kind of cute.
Really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on fantasy art because this to me feels quite fantastical. I don't know. Do I like any of these? Maybe. Okay. I mean, that's. It's got 2 minutes. It's a bit octopusy. Okay, what about that? Okay, that's great. Okay, so instant refine. I'm gonna check that one up. And have a quick. Oh, cute. Okay, download that. And then I'm going to go back into ImageGen. Let's have a look what it's been creating in our absence. Oh, these are quite cool. Okay, let's go and have a look. So
Wow.
this was with the prompt applied, the good prompt applied. This is without it. So it's got a bit more of like a horsey look. Oh my god, I love that one. That's so funny. Okay, cool. Also, within our platform, we also have the ability to upscale. This is going to be different to the universal upscaler, but if you're just wanting like a quick better version, you've got two options. Now this one here is Alchemy Smooth Upscaler. So this one is for like illustration, anime, and cartoon to try and make it just like look a bit more refined. This one is Crisp Upscaler. Now this one is for like photography and digital art and 3D renders, and it just gets that like crispness across a bit more. Oh wow, okay, beautiful. So as you can see, I don't know if you guys noticed that, but it really did boost up quite significantly with that glitter for me. So that if we have our original one there, still quite gorgeous, but that upscaler, you just really get that like sparkle. The sparkle comes across beautifully. Okay, gorgeous. These are quite cute. So perhaps let's take, God, I don't know which one. I'm just so drawn to this one. I just really like this one. So I'm going to use this as a star reference, and I'm going to go and put content reference, the one that thing I just made. Sorry, I'm just going to get a full screen again. So we've got that little butterfly doodle that we did in real time. And I'm going to put the content reference quite high. And then I'm going to put the star reference as that image that we just made that I really liked. Okay, good. And I'm going to have that star reference. I'm actually going to make it ultra. Like I really want that style to come across. I have a feeling because that has a black background, we might break it, but let me just see. Let's just have a look. Let's see if it breaks or not. And I'm going to run it without Sparkle Core, so you get an idea of the difference. And so if we go and add perhaps a different element, Glass Core, I'm going to show you what this one looks like as well. That one's quite fun. high-ish, maybe make it high-ish. Put that one there. Have a process. Okay, cool. So while they are running out, is there anything that I can, anything else we can quickly have a chat through? But really, as you can see, guys, like it's like it is just it's like an iterative workflow, and making sure that you take, like, if there's something you really like, you're like, oh yeah, that's it, save it, like keep going forward, like jump back to it, reuse it. So there's my little guy. Hi, cute. Which was really good for getting poses and stuff. So if like perhaps you really liked one of these outputs, like the aesthetic of it, but it's the wrong pose, or it's the wrong position, or it's missing a wing, or it's just not it, you can then jump back into Realtime to really refine it for it to be exactly what you wanted. Oh my God, that's so pretty. Oh my gosh, hi. I have a habit of naming all of my generations. Like I name my characters, I name my animals. They're cute. Okay, I'm gonna take, which one do we want? I don't know. This one's kind of cool. I'm just gonna use this one. And as like a final ta-da, I'll put it back through the universal upscaler. Just because it's actually, there we go. I'll go get it from here. So as you can see, like everything that you generate is stored here, so you can just jump back forth. So you don't have to actually leave the computer. I'm going to do cinematic, and I'm going to put it quite high. I'm just going to be like, you know what, do what you want and do what you will. These are really pretty. And then actually let's go add some motion to it in the meantime as well. So let's go add motion, grab from my recent gens. Maybe, yeah, whatever. We'll get this one. And I'm going to say, I'm going to put the motion probably around a 6. Let's have a look at what that gets. Go back to my feed where they're working. See how my upscaling's going. I've got a few too many things running. Cool.
Yeah, this is all looking great. See?
Yeah, it's really, really, really fun. It's really, really fun. When you you just get carried away. Like truly, it's a very, very addictive process, as I'm sure most of you can attest to. That when you kind of like get in, and so much comes through like experimentation and playing and like giving things a go. If you like something, like just play it, like play around with it, I think is a great way to go. Okay, here we go. So that's the universal upscaler. I made the strength very high, so I've probably taken a bit of the lust that I really liked out of. Oh my God, look at him! He's really got character going on in that face. Incredible. And yeah, so that image right now is sitting at 2,200, but we can make that bigger or smaller, and lots of different settings to upscale. But you'll notice even like the sand has started to get those really nice reflections and details and all of that. And if we go and have a look at our motion piece, I didn't make it. I probably get the wrong number, but if we make it high, I could probably get the wings to flap and that kind of stuff, which is a bit cute.
Very cool. We've just got a tiny little bit of housekeeping. We've just got a few minutes left. I'll leave you guys on this one last comment from Lewis, which kind of leads into where we're going to go next. Lewis says, as a professional, great advantage of using image guidance is that even if someone copies your prompt, they'll never have access to your reference images, so they kind of become your secret sauce. Thank you for that. And I think that's a really nice way to kind of leave this demo, which is that I think what we covered today is sort of the core basics of the platform. Thank you so much, Jessie. Incredible. But where we're going to go to next is kind of some of those more professional workflows that you're talking about there. And I'll leave you with just a few things. Basically, if you liked what you saw today and you want to post any of your work on social media inspired by this demo, tag hashtag LeonardoLearn, and we'll keep an eye on all of the awesome things that you make and share them on social media.
I want to see what you make. I want to see. We're also doing a lot of like highlighting creative talents work at the moment. So yeah, definitely I want to see it. Like we want to see it. And so yeah, please do use the hashtag what do we decide? #LeoLearn. And what I also am excited about with this series, we're going to be like, today was clearly just a welcome to the platform. This is where things are. But as we move forward, I'm definitely going to be improving, like stepping it up. You guys are learning a lot of cool stuff. I'm really excited for when we get into like fine-tuning models and all of the nitty-gritty workflows. But for the time being, like spend the week playing around with the tools, sit around in image gen and real-time. Those are where I would love you to real-time canvas and image gen. If you can nail those, you can do anything on this platform.
For sure. And so, yeah, if you want to sign up, we've got another webinar coming up shortly, and that'll cover, like we said, some of those more professional workflows. So you can scan the QR there or go to the link. I just posted it in the chat. That'll be June 18th, Australian time, which I believe will be July 17th, much of the rest of the world. And if you would like to speak to our team about how you can use Leonardo in your business, you can get a free pilot for Leonardo for Teams, which is our business product. You can either scan the QR
Teams is
there.
absolutely massive. I saw somebody mention something about the collections and the folders and all of that element. Leonardo for Teams is phenomenal if you are running like any sort of agency or studio or anything where there's multiple people trying to create together. You're able to like share models together. You keep it if your colleague is making something that's amazing and very on brand, you can be like, okay, quick, like let me kind of jump in here and work together. So the collaborative element is phenomenal. So yeah, if you are with a looking at the Teams element, like definitely go have a look at it, because I think it's going to be in the same way that what are they called, cloud computing, like collaborative stuff. I think it's going to be really, really helpful being able to have that with Leonardo. And it's like a unique part of Leo is that we have these kind of like enterprise angle.
For sure. And yeah, a couple of people have mentioned this during the webinar, but this recording will be posted on YouTube. You should also be able to come back to this link to watch it, but either way, it will be posted publicly on YouTube after we wrap up here. And finally, it's not on the slide, but we have a very active Discord community. A couple of our moderators have been in the chat. Thank you, Roberto and Dee, for answering all of the questions as they came through.
Yeah, our Discord. Shout out to the Discord. We actually have the 3rd largest Discord community in the world. Absolutely, just so much love for that community. So please do jump on the Discord community. You also learn a lot. People are incredible at sharing on there.
Yeah, for sure. I posted a link up there earlier. Maybe it's sort of been buried. We've had a few comments since, but you should be able to find it pretty easily. And it's a great place to learn from a lot of people who have been using the platform for some time. We have our prompt masters, we have our mods. Basically, if you're after any particular workflow, any particular job, we should be able to help you get it done on Leonardo.
Yay. Yes, I ran through all of the features today. I'm not sure which ones are the free or which ones are for paid features, but it's just an investment to be able to create incredible work. So definitely go have a look at some of the different plans to see make sure you have access to all these really, really helpful features.
Cool. What do you reckon, Jessie? Should we leave it there?
I think that's it. I think that's actually pretty close to time. Oh my God, 3 minutes over.
3 minutes over.
We've got a work day to start.
That's true.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, everybody. I do really want to encourage you to come along to 102. 102 is going to get into some more nitty-gritty stuff, and 103 is going to be really, really exciting. So it'll be awesome if you could upskill now so that when we get into this next workflow, you're going to be able to keep up. So I want to make sure we're bringing everyone along with this. It would be great.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next month for Leonardo 102.
Thanks so much, everybody. Have a beautiful morning or evening or good night.
Wherever you are, whatever time it may be.
Goodbye from Leonardo.
Bye.